I'm Johnny Massacre, and welcome to the Johnny Massacre Show. This is a special Sunday square up, roundup, whatever you want to call it. But last week, people tell me I sound like Russian. You are not right. Don't be a bastard. Get my nationality right. You know, in this current climate, the racism is absolutely everywhere. And I have no time for racism, so come over to my screen. I want to show you the full origin of my accent. Come on across now. Look at this. My name is Jose. I am dancing. I have dancing feet. I am from Portugal.
We are a special club exactly because the people never forget the professionals that gave the maximum for this club in the past.
I gave the maximum for the club in the past, but the bastard don't repay me quick enough. Anyway, on tonight's Johnny Massacre show, Sunday Square Up, it is the week in review, the Square Up, so we talk about what happened. And as you know, chess is racist. Chess is racist. Also, Japan make world's fastest supercomputer. Those bastards always stealing technology from rest of world. Kanye West, he partners with Gap, making the clothes, has some new shoes, liking the shoes. Watch me dance to the left, to the right. Jose so beautiful at night. In other news, cancel culture continues. And this week, cancel culture has come for cartoon, so fuck them. I tell you everything. Thank you again for tuning into the Johnny Massacre Show. So yes, this is the week in review. If you watched the previous Johnny Massacre Show, you will know that chess is racist. So cancel culture has gone completely fucking insane this week. And apparently chess is racist because the white pieces go first. Now, I love the comments for this. It became a little bit like a game. We were all saying other things that are racist, other ridiculous things that are racist, just to make fun of how stupid it is, the notion that chess could possibly be racist. So thank you for all the people in the comments who made some very funny jokes about this. One person was saying how pianos are racist, and I can't believe I didn't think of that. Yes, you know, pianos must be racist too, because everything's racist, including pianos. Beethoven, massive racist, definitely. Look at him, he's colonial, he's a racist. You know, pianos, they have mostly white keys, right? So there's less black keys than white keys. There's not enough representation on the average keyboard. And also, white keys are... Black keys have a dissonant sound. They're supposed to sound sad or kind of angry or anxious. And that's racist. Why did they make the black keys act? Come on. I mean, look. I can be a little bit anxious sometimes, and it's not a nice feeling. So think about the black keys also. Why do they have the dissonant sound? Why is it not the other way around? That's what I want to know. Also, there are more dominant white keys. So dominant keys, it basically the fifth degree of each scale of each key is known as the dominant key. And the dominant key resolves nicely back to the root key. And it is a fact that there are more dominant whites on the keyboard than dominant blacks. And that, my friends, is racist. So everything's racist. Chess is racist. We learned that this week. Pianos are also racist. Someone brought it to my attention that dominoes must be racist because it's a white square and the dots are black, but they're kind of trapped inside the white. So basically, dominoes, if you fucking play dominoes, you're so fucking racist. Also, Domino's Pizza... Hello, man, you guys, if you have ever ordered a Domino's pizza at any point in your whole fucking life, you are racist. You are fucking racist. And you should give money back for all the pizzas you've ever eaten. I ate so many Domino's pizzas last year, and I didn't even realize that it's racist. But now I have to be punished for it. I should have known. Oreo Cookies, racist. Massively racist. I mean... They do appear black, but then when you tilt them, you can see hiding in the middle is the racist white filling. If you've ever eaten an Oreo cookie, not even that, if the cross-pollination of brands, Oreo, the reason they do so well is because rather than trying to keep their brand under lock and key, they opened it to the world and they they cross-pollinated the Oreo cookie with various different brands. McDonald's had Oreo cookie ice cream. Mate, if you've ever eaten a McDonald's in your whole fucking life, even before they had the Oreo partnership collab, you know what you are. You fucking know what you are. What else are racist? Beaches are beaches are so fucking racist. Everyone always talks about the perfect beach. White sand, blue. See? White. Why is it always white sand? There's black sand. What's wrong with black sand? And people generally don't really like black sand. And I can tell you why that is. It's because of unconscious bias. That's why. And racism. So saying you like white sand is basically a microaggression. And the sea is blue, right? Blue, police are racist. If you've ever gone to a beach, even if you like the look of a beach, but you never even said that, it means you're racist. Okay? You see what I'm saying? I could go on, but that happened this week. Apparently chess is racist. Someone said that, and then some chess players got really pissed off. Garry Kasparov, he's the most famous chess player ever. Even he came out defending chess against racism. So that happened this week. So Japan also built the world's fastest supercomputer. I showed you that on the previous Johnny Massacre show. It doesn't look very sexy. It doesn't look like a console. It's loads of filing cabinets. Now, other things that happened this week, Kanye West. So Kanye West is back. I like Kanye West. I remember when he first came out and his first album, it was great. His original beats was a mixture of sped up funk breaks and soul breaks and classic soul samples. And he still kind of uses that in his beats today, but he's earned the right to relax and kind of do whatever he wants creatively. So he's getting a bit more eccentric as time goes on. But I'll forever like Kanye West because he's made so many great tracks. And the people I like the most from these popular artists, the ones who basically make pop music, but it's still cool. If it wasn't popular, you'd hear it even on the underground, and you'd be like, oh yeah, that's fucking cool. So people who make pop music, but it's still cool, I think that's the hardest thing to do. Hip hop people have been able to do that over the years. So Dr. Dre's done it, Timbaland's done it, Kanye West has done it, The Prodigy did it a long time ago. But it's very, very hard to be popular and still be cool, you know? I'm saying, mate. So Kanye West does that very well, and that's why I like him. And Kanye West, he'll disappear from the public eye, and then he'll suddenly come back into the public eye. And it's a very good dynamic for his promotion because you're kind of starved of Kanye West, and then when he comes back, it's all at once. He says he has bipolar disorder, and you can see why he has bipolar disorder because it's black and white, on and off, hot and cold. He's fucking not there, and then he comes back. It's totally black and then white. The light comes on. No, I shouldn't use that analogy. But yes, Kanye West is back. So he came back on Twitter and he announced quite a lot of stuff. And he's been very, very busy. Now, of course, music is involved if we're talking about Kanye West. But I don't really like talking about hip-hop on this show because, let's be honest, most hip-hop fans are kind of hyperactive man-child trying to be tough but worshipping these pop stars who are no different from boy bands. And look, lyricism died a long time ago in hip-hop. Now it's just an image thing that you share on Insta, and it's getting woke, and the best music is anti-woke and from the heart, passionate, really rebellious shit. But hip-hop it's hyper commercial now, and for some reason people keep falling for it and they think, wow, look, it's really kind of dirty and edgy, and oh, look at hip-hop, it's all great. But actually it's just pop music that's marketed to a certain demographic. And the stuff they have in their music videos, it's all kind of flowery backpacks and cheesy designer brands and bubble tea bullshit, chihuahuas holding these little flowery dogs and ugly brand labels and stuff. Nouveau riche nihilism it is. And the whole twerking thing, twerking is kind of funny, but I'm not very good at twerking. But this whole thing where twerking became mainstream, don't get me wrong, I like a bit of rough with the smooth, but it's just so gratuitously over sexy that, hey, I shake my ass in the camera, it all looks a bit desperate. And twerking, you basically have to be kind of fat to twerk, and I don't know about you, but being fat is kind of unhealthy. So this whole standardization of having a huge overweight ass is attractive. I never really got it. So for all these reasons, me and hip hop, yes, I make hip hop music, but I'm kind of an anomaly. I find myself in the matrix, really, when I make hip-hop. I'm not subscribing to the tropes and patterns of what hip-hop has evolved into today, which is the same drum loop over and over again from an 808 Roland kit that everyone makes in their bedrooms and sounds the same, and still auto-tunes going on. So I don't really see myself as part of the traditional hip-hop industry, and so I'm loath to comment on hip-hop, but I'm just going to tell you what I think anyways from the outside perspective about Kanye West coming back. Another reason is, I mean, have you ever been on a hip-hop website and looked in their comment section? It's nearly worse than my comment section, and mine has been known to get pretty messy. I mean, hip-hop comments sections appear to be written by people who are edging on overdosing on Adderall and tranquilizers. They're kind of coming up and they're going down, and they're all a bit weird and out of their minds. It's really bizarre. Anyways, with that said, Kanye West is back. So let's see what Kanye's up to, shall we? Loads of shit. Take a look at my screen. So he's hashtagging West Day Ever, which is obviously a play on the expression best day ever, and his surname West, so West Day Ever. He's putting that everywhere. Look at that. Do you know what that is? That's Gap. So Kanye West has partnered with Gap. Have you heard of Gap recently? No. In the 90s, they were well popular, but they've kind of faded. And so they obviously decided to do something drastic to revive their ailing brand and make it relevant. And I think they instantly have, because it's been out of the public eye for so long. I think when people think of Gap, they think of the 90s. And 90s is so fucking long ago now. Every 20 years, it's cyclical. You have these fashions coming back, and 90s stuff is coming back now. Baggy jeans and all that shit, and baggy clothing. And so it's only right that Gap comes back, and they do it with an artist who was massive in the late 90s and who's reinvented himself many times and is still relevant today, and who has really, really blazed the trail in the hip-hop fashion crossover world. It makes perfect sense. Kanye West partnering with Gap. Apparently it's a 10-year partnership. His logo, Yeezy, looks good on the Gap, and I think this could work. I think there's an element of nostalgia, and when you look at Gap, it's gone past being cheesy, and now it's become kind of cool in a weird, contrived, nostalgic way. So I think that looks good. I think that works. So then this appears to be from the first collection of the Gap Yeezy collaboration. We've got very bright colors. We've got what appears to be a down jacket and a hoodie. Hoodie is standard uniform in hip hop. Some kind of movement going on here. I don't know what's on the side. Some other clothes and a bag. And on the bag, something's written there. I think it says something about Yeezy and the collab and who made it. And I just think, yeah, it looks in keeping with the Gap brand, with the bright, simple colors, not too overly designed with too many logos and stuff. But it also looks kind of current and new. Bear in mind, this is a professional picture taken by a professional photographer, edited by a professional designer on Photoshop. But it doesn't really look all that bad, does it? So now we are looking at Yeezy's new running shoe. Now, it kind of looks like an elite from Halo made love to a bicycle helmet and a crocodile. Serious threesome going on there. I'm not sure what to think about it. I can't stop looking at it, so it's very striking. And there's something about it that draws me towards it. But at the same time, is this something that you'd wear? It looks kind of like a creepy alien sandal, but I'll give him top marks for uniqueness. It's a damn unique shoe. So anyways, that's been announced. People always go mad about Kanye West trainers. I've kind of stayed away from all this stuff. Yeah, the hip-hop star's trying to capitalize on his notoriety and his fame and trying to make a bit of a side hustle. But actually, this is kind of, it's more than a side hustle. Kanye really, really gives a fuck about fashion. If you've ever seen an interview with him, he takes it so seriously. He was designing women's shoes for years behind the scenes, trying to break through. Jay-Z, he did that fashion stuff. That was well cheesy. He just slapped his name on it. Jay-Z's all about business, but Kanye is much more introspective, much deeper, much more creative than Jay-Z. And so you feel this fashion line is much more serious, and it's something he genuinely wants to do. It feels like a genuine love, and I think that's why people really relate to it and respond well to it. But I never really jumped on that bandwagon. I have to say, of all the crossovers from hip-hop to fashion, this is the only one that's kind of credible. Kanye did pioneer a certain style of bland, washed-out colors, browns and weird lime greens, and the guy's, he's clearly a creative genius, so he's got something going on there, but I don't get excited about the shoes. I don't even know how to buy it. When the Kanye West sneaker comes out, are you thinking, oh man, how am I going to get it? I don't know how to fucking get it. I clicked on the website and I could go on there because in Japan it was still not peak hours in America, but then soon when I clicked on the Yeezy shop, I couldn't get in there. It had been overloaded with visitors, so I guess you got to go in there and click on reserve or whatever. I don't know how you fucking get hold of these sneakers, but this is the latest Kanye sneaker. What else is going on with Kanye West? There's loads of shit. Let's have a look. So this one I love. This is what people really want to see from these artists when they use their social media sites. They want to see the real artist behind the scenes. And what is more real than Kanye West spilling orange juice on Dr. Dre's carpet? So Kanye said, in all caps, with terrible punctuation, "I'm sorry, Dr. Dre. I spilt these 3 drops of orange juice mixed with while we were finishing our first project. West day ever. # West day ever." See, Kanye doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. He's actually wearing his sneakers. You can see them being worn, although you can't see the feet going into them because they're cut off on the edge of the picture. However, they do look a little bit weird, don't they? Anyways, Dr. Dre's carpet, you can imagine this is a fucking expensive carpet. Kanye West has fucked it up, and he's not even afraid to say it. And I love this, mixed with So, yeah, Kanye West is with Dr. Dre. What does that tell you? Well, it tells you that new music is coming. Now, Dr. Dre is one of my all-time absolute heroes. You wouldn't maybe know that looking at me because I'm white. All white people are racist, right? And they're white supremacists and they oppress black people. That's what the current narrative is in the media. But actually, all of my heroes are black. My first hero was my cousin. My cousin's black. You can see him on the Johnny Massacre show. The first music I really liked was P. Diddy and Notorious B.I.G. They're black, and Tupac and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. All my heroes are black. And so I love Dr. Dre. I love Dr. Dre so fucking much. One of my all-time heroes. His beats are amazing. His first 2 albums, Chronic and Chronic 2001. Oh my fucking God. Perfection in hip-hop. We never really got back to those. Anyway, so Dr. Dre being one of my favorite artists, collaborating with Kanye West, who I also like, for the first time. This is fucking huge news. I can't believe this. Dr. Dre's output has been quite small over the years, so I'm really, really pleased to see them in the studio. Let's follow this story. So People.com say Snoop Dogg films behind the scenes clip of Kanye West and Dr. Dre making music in the studio. Kanye West got some hot music. Snoop Dogg teased of Kanye West's upcoming new project. Now Snoop Dogg, he's got a bit woke recently. He's got a little bit woke. He was saying Orange Man bad and we got to kill Donald Trump. And if it wasn't for the woke left, I wouldn't support Donald Trump at all. I remember when I first saw him, I thought, who the fuck is this guy? And I didn't like him, like a lot of other people didn't. But then when I saw how radical the left had become and their pro-censorship, me making music and being censored and stuff, I realized that people are going to have to vote for Donald Trump unless they want to be censored and go into some socialist Marxist hellhole. And so, yeah, Snoop Dogg, he's on that whole woke thing. But you know what? It's all good because he's entitled to his opinion. And I love Snoop Dogg. I know you're watching Snoop, and I know you hate me now for everything I've just said, but still, I love you. I love your music, and nothing will ever change that. So Snoop Dogg, anyway, Snoop Dogg is in Dr. Dre's studio. And he's taking a surreptitious video of what's going on. So this is the promised land. This is the mecca for music producers inside Dr. Dre's studio. Only Snoop Dogg will be able to take this video. Anyone else would be probably beaten up and cast out. Let's have a look at Kanye West and Dr. Dre in the studio. Right, here we go. Let's play this video.
I watch it, Pops. I've been getting home late from work.
He love that 5 Bloods.
Well, make sure when you watch it, you call me back. I was like, all right, Pops.
They're so high. It's ridiculous. Kanye West got some hot music. He's got some hot shit, says Snoop.
Right. that's never happened.
Man, seeing Dr. Dre at work, that's like seeing a white tiger in the wild.
Exclusive footage. Shut up.
The first time.
Motherfucking Kanye West got some hot shit. It's gonna come out.
Snoop, he's one of the most charismatic hip-hop artists of all time. Dr. Dre touched it, I think he said.
Here they come. Here they come.
Man, I love Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, he's such a wicked... the reason I like Snoop Dogg is because he's a proper alpha. He does what he wants, he says what he wants, and he does it with supreme confidence. Never you see his lip quiver or you see his hand shake. He's a true OG. And for bringing us that footage of them working together in the studio, I find that incredibly exciting. So I think it's actually supposed to be a sequel to Jesus is King. So it's kind of a religious style album, but don't quote me on that. Now, in other news, Kanye West has made a cartoon. So this is very, very interesting. Now, it's called Kids See Ghosts, which is the name of Kanye's album with Kid Cudi. I don't even know how to pronounce Kid Cudi. He was really popular in America, but not so much in England. So I don't even know. Kid Cudi, whatever his name is. Kanye West collaborated with him last year, I believe, and made an album. And the album was called Kids See Ghosts. And now it has an animated show. It's directed by Takashi Murakami. Now, I know who this guy is. Takashi Murakami is a Japanese artist who created something known as Super Flat. In Japanese, it's called Super Flatto. And that is a very colorful anime style of over-the-top Japanese anime tropes. Huge eyes, kawaii, cute animals and stuff. And it's just with loads of eyes. The emphasis is on the eyes with loads of bright colours, and it's very trippy. It looks like you've taken a few magic mushrooms before you've looked at some kind of neon dystopian picture. And that guy became really famous because he breathed life back into Louis Vuitton. Like Kanye West is trying to breathe life back into Gap, the artist Murakami breathed life back into Louis Vuitton. I believe Louis Vuitton wanted to reinvigorate their brand, and so they charged and commissioned Takashi Murakami to design a few seasons of Louis Vuitton. And they took the classic Louis Vuitton pattern, but they put the weird Japanese anime manga-style eyes of Murakami all over it. And they also changed the color scheme. So they did it was kind of ivory cream white instead of the darkish background. And I think the rest of the pattern was black or navy blue or something. And it just kind of gave a little twist to Louis Vuitton and made it fresh and exotic. And from there, Murakami became involved in the hip-hop world because, of course, Louis V and hip-hop go together like titties and milk, mate, for want of a better analogy. And so then Murakami started to get involved with all the hip-hop guys. He did collaborations with Pharrell Williams. He's done it before with Kanye West. And he designed Kanye West's album cover for one of his albums. And so now they're collaborating again. And Murakami is producing this cartoon. And the cool thing is Kanye West voices the bear. And his voicing of the bear character is really, really good. And I find it amusing to imagine Kanye West in his bipolar hypomania in the studio with his orange juice, spilling it on the carpet, going, making all these weird noises. I love Kanye West's creativity. He's one of the only artists that stayed true all these times. So why don't we watch the Kids See Ghosts animated show for the weekly square up. Let's do it, people. But guess what, people? You can't listen to the video because of a copyright strike, so I have to re-record this with no sound. Yay. Okay, well, let's just kind of watch it and I'll narrate what the hell's going on. So there's an amazing tune over this. It's like, boom, oh, you know that one. And what are we seeing? So Kanye Bear is the protagonist of this cartoon for Kids See Ghosts. And there's a fox as well. The fox is looking rather smug, as you can see. Or he might be stoned as we say in England. Or he's Blaze, you get me. He's taken something. And I really, really like the design. This is vintage Murakami. Now we see a school bus. and a street that is not a million miles away from Toy Story. And the apocalypse is creeping up behind the two protagonists in the form of a giant purple neon ball consuming everything in its path. Now we're seeing some very nerdy stuff, which looks like a tree genie or a tree elemental, something you might find in a Zelda game, that now is morphing into a robot or mech that seems to be inspired by Gundam. See, this is a theme. There's loads of relatable things. Toy Story, Gundam. This artist, Murakami, takes vintage Japanese stuff like woodblock prints and vintage Japanese prints and old style magazines, and he blends it with a modern style and pop culture with a splash of neon. I just love Murakami's style. They just went through a graveyard. If you watch the show, you know I'm a fan of the undead, the Halloween vibe. And now it's looking a bit like the other kind of Japanese artist. I forget the name, but he did Totoro or whatever. So you've just got a million different influences from the native Japan, where the artist is from, and pop culture all around the world. There's a little bit of product placement with Kanye sneakers. Really, the animation is beautiful. It's Murakami in 3D with a hint of Kanye, a bit of tension and danger. The environment looks quite threatening, and there is the typical castle in the background that they're obviously going to have to go to in order to save the day. So there you go. That was good, wasn't it? Don't you think? I honestly thought that was really impressive. So I'm kind of a bit lost for words. The first time I watched that, I enjoyed it, but then watching it again there kind of blew me away. So that's quite exciting. Kanye West is a busy boy. He's also apparently updating his Yeezy store, and they were really selling that online, saying it's like no shopping experience you've ever seen. And you have a model walk onto the screen, and as you change the clothes start flying onto them, a bit like Iron Man. But I don't know, it looks a little bit novelty to me. Kanye West is a busy boy. I'm Johnny Massacre, and you are watching the Sunday Square Up. What else is going on? Well, Family Guy actor steps down. So we're going into the cancel culture part of the show. Sorry to throw acid in your eyes, but it's one of my favorite hobbies, as you will know if you're a regular on this show. So here we go. Cancel culture wokeness. Let's do it. TMZ reports Family Guy white actor who voiced Cleveland steps down. Mike Henry, the white actor who has voiced Cleveland on Family Guy for 20 years, is stepping down from the role, saying the black characters should be voiced by a person of color. I really, really strongly dislike this white knighting. So white people decide what's best for black people. They want to help them, but ironically, they're still trying to control them by saying, well, you need this, because they see them as all victims. Seeing all black people as victims is kind of racist. When I meet someone, I just judge them on an individual basis. But saying black people need this because they're all victims, maybe it says that this is a misguided white guy and it's actually kind of casually racist, but maybe it's just me. He says the black character should be voiced by a person of color. Henry made the announcement Friday saying, it's been an honor to play Cleveland on Family Guy for 20 years. I love this character, but persons of color should play characters of color. Therefore, I will be stepping down from the role. Okay. So that happened, and I don't know about you, but I think it's a little bit silly. White guy speaking on behalf of poor black people. Really, who wants to be spoken about like that? Don't ever speak about me like I need your help, because I don't. I'm responsible for all the failures and hardships in my life. Even when people I know get sick, I blame myself. It's just easier that way. That means you're in control of pretty much everything. I want to get a job because I'm good, because I deserve it. Not because someone gave it to me, because they feel sorry for me. I don't need you to feel sorry for me at all. In Japan, I've had people turn me down to rent apartments so many times because I'm white, I'm English, I'm a foreigner. I don't give a fuck. I just keep going until I find another one. I don't moan about it. and I don't want to have something because someone feels sorry for me. Fuck that. I stand on my own 2 feet. So this whole stuff about giving your job away because of your white guilt, I think it's stupid. And guess what? It's a cartoon. It's a fucking cartoon. What? So Mickey Mouse, there's Mickey Mouse, right? Does that mean there's some depressed field mouse crawling around out there in the field thinking, oh man, some human fucking voiced me? See how silly that sounds? It's a cartoon. These rules don't even apply. It's very stupid. Also, Bart Simpson from The Simpsons is voiced by a woman, right? Why isn't there an outcry that it should be voiced by a little boy? Children are losing the opportunity. That's an old woman now. She's stealing their opportunity. Because this is all about whiny bitches trying to virtue signal for their own narcissism. This is silly. Cartoons, anyone can voice them. If you're good enough, you'll get the job. Start a new cartoon and hire the appropriate actors. It's fine. Speaking of The Simpsons, guess what? The cancel culture's come to them as well. So, why don't you come on over to my screen? Have a look at this. BBC News says, Simpsons ends use of white actors to voice people of colour. US animated comedy series The Simpsons will no longer use white actors for the voices of characters from other ethnic backgrounds, the show's producers say. The show, broadcast on Fox Network, has faced years of criticism over white actor Hank Azaria's voiceover of Indian-American character Apu, which is amazing, by the way. Mr. Azaria said earlier this year that he was stepping down from the role. Moving forward, The Simpsons will no longer have white actors voice non-white characters. So, I thought acting wasn't about being real, it's about acting. So people act animals sometimes in theatre plays, and men act women in theatre plays. There's actually nothing wrong with men playing women and women playing men. What about all the trans people? I thought that's all right for trans people. I thought sex is amorphous and we should be able to change it in general. Why can't women play men and men play women? That's quite woke, right? But it's only because it's just with white people. So white people can't do it. White people can't play the roles. But a black person could play the role of a white person, and then it's okay. If it's okay for a white person to give up their job for a black person, but it's not okay for a black person to give up the job for a white person, then it just doesn't make sense. The easy answer to this is to have the same rule for everyone. And then it's all equal. Look, we spent so many years getting rid of racism to the point where no one even cares about this stuff. Only woke people looking to quench their white guilt thirst and looking to weave a Marxist narrative in order to get a left-wing president into power. We've come so far, no one even cares about it. Why try to regress and go back 10, 20, 30 years and racially profile everyone and divide people up along intersectional lines and say someone's worth is based on their race and skin color? This is taking us back. The past is the past and some bad shit happened, but no one living today is responsible for that. We made it, people. Hey, we made it. We've all got equal rights. It's okay. Let's just carry on like we always have, and things will get better. We need to stop dividing people up by race and stop focusing on race so much and just focus on being good people and being awesome to one another. And that has been the Sunday Square Up, where I just bring you all the news from the week that was. I've been Johnny Massacre, and I tell you what, mate, you better be back for the next video, because otherwise I'll be coming around your house. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that is what all those other cunts tell you to do. Laters.